What in the world is this, Lego? Why are the gosh darn Ninja Turtles on my screen? And believe me, there's a very good reason why we're putting them in the thumbnail. And half of it is because straight up I just wanted to do it. Also because there actually is relevance with the Ninja Turtles to this conversation, but today what we're doing is going over to an audio hit on BPM Sports Talk Radio, wherein some pretty interesting information about the Montreal Canadiens draft strategy has gotten revealed. Take a look at this audio. It will be in the description. It's 20 minutes long, and the title goes out there and says something that I don't think people are going to be too surprised about. Tij Iginla would interest the Montreal Canadiens. The audio is 20 minutes long, and, of course, the folks on BPM go out there and talk about the Canadiens and what it is their draft plans seem to be. Now, this isn't the only time we've made a video talking about Tij Iginla of the Kelowna Rockets. We already made the Why I Want video, if you want to go ahead and check that one out and see his entire scouting profile, and we did make a secondary video discussing whether or not he would be the Canadiens' top target. But just in case you needed the update and the scoop, if you haven't been paying too much attention to the draft prospects, let's just give the SparkNotes summary for Iginla right here. 17 years old, 6 feet, 185, a left-handed forward who is consolidatedly ranked at the 14th overall spot at the time of recording this audio. The highest ranking on Elite Prospects is 10th overall, and the lowest is number 31, at least as of right now. Tij Iginla has been a pretty big riser, and for good reason, because this season he's scored 84 points in 64 Kelowna Rockets games. Add to that the 6 goals in 4 games played he's had in the postseason. Tij Iginla has just been an absolute boss. He's decently sized, but he works hard, he does not give up on plays, and when he plays without the puck, this is when he can be a true menace. We spoke about a lot of this and more in the Why I Want video, so again, big plug out to that one on the channel. But if you wanted to go over to the Tij Iginla Montreal conversation, this audio hit from BPM Sports was transcribed by William LeBlanc on Twitter. Take a look at this tweet yesterday that garnered 100,000 views. Per Stefan Gonzalez on BPM Sports, the Habs management already have met 4 times with Tij Iginla. They love him, and he is their main target in the 7 to 8 range. Now, if you go over to Tankathon and check out where the Canadiens are right now, they have the 6th overall pick in the 2024 NHL Draft. Of course, this is pre-lottery, this isn't really confirmed or anything. The Canadiens can go higher. If they win games, they can go lower. It all depends, but with this being the range that the Montreal Canadiens are focusing on, let's say 7 to 8, if Tij Iginla is their number 1 target, it does make things very interesting. Because if you go over to the Canadian subreddit, there are some conversations that are talked about in response to this. The Habs love to draft a late riser. Also, something to consider is that Tij Iginla is one of the youngest players in the entire 2024 draft, being born in August. He's 8 months younger than Berkly Catton, for example. On the Processes podcast, Snake said that late birthdays are the best prospects in the past couple of years, drafted early, of course. It's a big factor to consider. I agree. Just look at what 8 months of development did to Juraj Slafkovsky. Now, I'm isolating just one aspect of the Tij Iginla conversation. There are a lot of other things that you can talk about when it comes to what makes him an effective hockey player, but him being born on August 1st, 2006 does make him one of the youngest players in this entire draft. He was 1 month and 2 weeks away from being eligible for the 2025 NHL Draft. So those extra months that he has on some of the guys born in 2005, for example, definitely adds some more ammo into what makes him a good prospect. Now, the idea, of course, of bringing up Tij Iginla and the Canadiens, it's not new. Again, we did make another video earlier in the year talking about this very same subject. But I did want to make this clarification a second time because when it comes to the BPM tweet that we had just looked at where William LeBlanc tweets it out, this is the main reply from Marco D'Amico that goes out there and challenges it. William, that's not entirely what they said on the radio show. He said that the Canadiens like Tij Iginla, but he also admitted that Cole Eiserman would likely go ahead of him if the Canadiens had the choice. William then replies, him and Arpon Basu said that based on the draft history, both think the Habs would pick Iginla between him and Cole Eiserman. Maybe my translation from French into English isn't perfect, but anyway, they're very high on Iginla. Marco D'Amico then replies saying, I listened to the whole thing. At no point was there mention of Iginla being the main target. Not looking to bash you, I just want the truth out there. And so, with this in mind, maybe the initial tweet that we looked at isn't completely accurate where it's like, yeah, Tij Iginla is the #1 guy the Canadiens are looking for, but if we listen to some of the comments and we interpret these tweets more holistically, it becomes apparent that the Canadiens have 2 guys that they might be focused on the most. Tij Iginla, as we've been talking about this entire time, as well as Cole Eiserman. Now, miss me with the last time the Montreal Canadiens drafted a US NTDP forward whose main bread and butter was scoring goals and whose first name happens to be Cole. Eiserman is in a really interesting spot because heading into this year, a lot of people said he could have been a top 5 guy, and to be fair, there are outlets that have him ranked as high as number 2 or number 3 overall, but his consolidated ranking is at 11. Mostly because there's a lot of concern as to whether or not Cole Eiserman really is an effective hockey player outside of his goal scoring. This year, he's got 48 goals in 47 games played with the NTDP, which is awesome. He's in that same territory of Cole Caulfield goal potential, but his two-way game and his off-puck game is a lot worse. So there's much debate amongst the scouting community as to where Cole Eiserman is going to go, how valuable his goal scoring is, and whether or not that should translate to a higher draft selection or not. So, the fact that the folks on BPM are saying that the Montreal Canadiens would probably choose Cole Eiserman over Tij Iginla if they had to choose, it does bode for some very interesting conversation because Cole Eiserman also is one of the youngest guys of the draft. He was born actually 28 days after Tij Iginla, so everything you can talk about with Tij and his age, how he's been growing and progressing the past few months, everything could also be applied to Cole Eiserman. So I wanted to toss the question out there to you in the comments section. What are your opinions on Eiserman and or Iginla being the main 2 guys the Montreal Canadiens could be targeting at this year's draft? Of course, this is all circumstantial. It's based on where the Canadiens finish. If they finish first overall, they're not passing up on Celebrini to take any of these guys. If they finish second or third, maybe they go with one of the top defensemen, who really knows? But there is a conversation to be had when it comes to goal-scoring forwards, some of which are really good off the puck, others are a little bit more lackadaisical, especially when it comes to the idea of Iginla and Eiserman being the 2 guys. Would you rather have somebody else if the Canadiens stick in the 6, 7, 8 range? Would you want to go for a Berkly Catton? Would you want to see them try to reach for an Ivan Demidov or something? Because Tij Iginla has been talked about before, is he the main guy that you've focused and put all your eggs in the basket for? And to those who are asking the question that I did not address from the beginning of this video, yeah, you could see it right there on the screen. The Kelowna Rockets had themselves an amazing TMNT-inspired jersey that they wore during one of their games. The jerseys were auctioned off, and it was really great. And Tij Iginla had himself the drip with Leo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donnie on his jersey. So I had to get that out there. I was like, yo, this is too amazing of a jersey not to put on the thumbnail of this video. Like, I normally like to zoom in and bring the players and put their faces up on the forefront of the thumbnail image, but like, because the jersey was so beautiful, I was like, yeah, we have to finagle this. We have to put the full jersey in the gosh darn thumbnail. This is going to be so beautiful, and then we'll go all mutant mayhem in the background. So yeah, I hope y'all can at least appreciate that the Kelowna Rockets did this. I just used these amazing threads in the thumbnail because I love amazing graphics. And I mean, I guess that shouldn't be too surprising. We made a Jiricek Attack on Titan thing yesterday, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens' apparent draft plans, and how we have 2 names at the top of their list, reportedly speaking, in terms of where they might use their first-round pick. Tij Iginla or Cole Eiserman? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.